Fellow Digimon tamers, I'm back with another deck profile video. You may have noticed the lack of content the past couple of days. I spent the last week and a half prepping for the EVO tournaments from last weekend and this weekend against different builds. Stamina wise, I think I didn't run out of gas like last time, so the channel will resume once again with consistent content. Today I go over the first place build for September 19th's EVO tournament. The winner? Not Lord Nightmon, not Rookie Control, not even Green Nidhogg. Nope, none of these were in the final game. It came down to Imperialdramon piloted by Dan Vong and Black Toolbox by Alex Mendoza. The winner was Black Toolbox. First and foremost, a huge congratulations to Alex Mendoza if you're watching this video. Both you and Dan played not just Sunday, but Saturday and Friday as well. 3 days of Digimon and 3 days of consistent tops. In today's deck profile, I go over the winning deck. Yes, I know I've given a lot of crap for black decks in general, which is why I'm covering this deck profile today on the channel. Black has seen a lot of tops in recent EVO tournaments, with Leechy's Black Defeat build, Black King's Diaboromon deck, and now Alex's Black Toolbox. But enough with the wait, let's get to the deck profile. This deck runs 5 level 2s, 13 level 3s, 12 level 4s, 9 level 5s, 7 level 6s, 5 level 7s, 2 option cards, and 2 tamers. For Alex's level 2s, Alex chose to run 4 Kaporimon and 1 Kikinmon. Kaporimon from BT5 is the best level 2 egg for any black toolbox kind of deck. After all, the majority of black decks top out to Metal Garurumon. And with Toy Agumon, all of your EVO Digimon will get that reboot effect for that added buff. Unfortunately, while Kaporimon is the best egg, this is where black has issues with eggs. The split of black into mainstream Digimon and Diaboromon has rendered 2 of its slots Diaboromon specific, being the Sumemon for DP buffs if you have multiple Digimon with the same name, and drawing a card if it's unidentified. Because the other Kapori only gives buffs on your turn, Kikin is the only available option left for black decks. Let's be real, why wouldn't you run a 5th egg slot? In the security control matchup, the 5th egg is very important. For level 3s, Alex ran 1 Hagurumon, 4 Toy Agumon, 2 Chumon, 3 Sonorizumon, and 3 Toy Agumon from the starter deck. Hagurumon is your cheap level 3 on-play Digimon, but with deck space so tight, there's really only a few that you can tech in due to the need of other Digimon. Replacement options again would be Commandramon from BT3. Toy Agumon from BT2 is one of your MVPs of the build, mainly because you give all your Digimon reboot. This prevents your Digimon from being swung over, or getting a big blocker with Megadramon's inheritable. Chumon stops the ability for memory gain, primarily blue decks which lack the destruction means to necessarily remove it, and with Dan Vong's Imperial build in the finals, Chu came in clutch to stop Hammer Sparks from being active. Sonorizumon is another MVP in this build, for its inheritable of adding another security attack for Blastmon, or giving your Digimon piercing if they're big and chunky. Last but not least, Toy Agumon from the starter deck. This Digimon has seen a lot of play recently and is coming up to another MVP of the deck. With its inheritable, you get to draw if your opponent did not attack with the Digimon at the end of the turn. With so many blockers or ways to remove Digimon, your opponent may be forced to attack, or not have the option to. For level 4s, Alex ran 2 Numamon, 3 Tankmon, 3 Sealsdramon, 1 Mechanorimon, and 3 Dark Tyrannomon. 2 Numamons is the Hail Mary of unbricking, being cheap to play outright. While its DP is less than Tankmon's, both Digimon have a 1-cost evolution, which is helpful for evoing up quickly. As for the remainder of your champions, they're all blockers. And while black may be the color with the most blockers of any color, Sealsdramon is the best level 4 blocker. While Guardramon may have the same evo and on-play cost and higher stats, it does suffer from not being able to attack. A similar problem for Mechanorimon, but a smaller stat line. Evo cost-wise it's higher than average, and on play it's the cheapest of them all. Mechanori on the other hand is a tech choice, primarily to hold opponents at bay if they are building wide with rookies. Finally, Dark Tyrannomon because it's standard. Why 3 copies? Primarily for its lower DP. While this Digimon can be used to Evo climb, Dark Tyrannomon suffers from a 5k DP stat line, that makes it vulnerable to green Nidhogg control, Lord Nightmon, Rookie control, and security control. And while the finals were Imperial vs Black Toolbox, second place in the end went to Chungman Chan, who was piloting Yellow Lord Nightmon, while the third place went to security control by Kevin Vesta. For level 5s, Alex ran the best of the best level 5s in the form of 4 Gogmamon, 4 Warumunzemon, and 1 Megadramon. You may be wondering why only 1 copy of Megadramon. I asked Alex the same question. In comparing Black Defeat to Black Toolbox, the deck is more aggro, taking advantage of Gogmamon's 1000 DP buff to convert your Metal Garurumon into a 13,000 DP body. With Kaporimon, of course. Which makes Metal Garurumon potentially check multiple security. Warumunzemon is absolutely needed at 4 to reduce Evo costs as much as possible, leaving only 1 spot available for Megadramon as a blocker tech. But you know what's the most scary thing about this deck? Blocker Reboot Blastmon. For level 6s, Alex ran 3 Blastmon and 4 Metal Garurumon. As I mentioned before, Blastmon is scary as hell on its own. Maybe if you're playing security control would you be okay with a Blastmon checking security. But for any other deck, you either give up board presence or lose 2 security each time Blastmon attacks. And if Toy Agumon and Megadramon are underneath, pray. Metal Garurumon is the other level 6 option in this deck, being an effective way to trash security and is most effective against security control. It's arguably the best level 6 Digimon in Black, and is a common link between Black Defeat and Black Toolbox. But when it comes to level 7s, Alex brought the spice. For level 7s, Alex ran 2 Millenniumon, 1 Omnimon Alter S, 1 Armageddonmon, and 1 Omnimon Zwart. Here there are a wide variety of tools to help for your different matchups. With Millenniumon, you could potentially have a blocker that revives on deletion. In addition, with its when Digivolving effect, you can send Digimon to the bottom and prevent your Digimon from attacking. With Starter Toy Agumon's effect, you can net resources off this, especially if your opponent's deck builds to a single Digimon. Omnimon Alter S is present to clear boards of rookie control, which remains one of the most consistent and played decks. After all, why worry about getting a rookie to hand if over 60% of your deck is rookies? Alter S punishes immensely here. Armageddonmon is the choice to go to if you happen to be playing purple or other black decks. It stops Lilith Loop, Zwart, and Zwart Defeat if they try to nuke Izzy Izumi. And last but not least, Omnimon Zwart to provide free ways to get level 4s and 5s back easily, to climb back to Metal Garurumon or Blastmon. Again, the lack of defeat is primarily because defeat is more for control and less aggressive. Typically, defeat would also be used to trade with bigger bodies. Winding down to the last 4 cards of the deck, this deck ran 2 option cards in the form of Ultimate Flare, a staple in every black deck against rookie control. Sure, Alter S is one way to do it, but Ultimate Flare in security is nasty. Finally, 2 tamers in the form of Izzy Izumi, the best tamer of black, allowing you to look at the top 3 cards and gain 1 memory if they're all black. This deck runs 5 cards in the deck that are white, but you realistically have a low chance of hitting one of them, especially if you have 1 in opening hand and or 1 in security. And that is Black Toolbox. Black Toolbox has a lot of supportive tools to out a lot of decks. In the matchups, Alex played against the following each round for the EVO tournament. Round 1, Lord Nightmon. Round 2, Green Nidhogg. Round 3, Lord Nightmon. Round 4, Lord Nightmon. Round 5, Shoutmon. Round 6, Diaboromon, which this build was the one that actually took first place on Saturday's EVO tournament. Round 7, Rookie Rush. And finally, Round 8, Imperialdramon. Out of the 3 days of gameplay, Alex went 10-1 against Lord Nightmon. And in his words, the matchup is free. Overall, best matchup is security control, but he did not face it all weekend. Worst matchups are green, blue, and purple, suspending his big dudes and sending them away. Imperial, which puts up a fight, and purple when the loop goes off. As for Black Defeat matchup, he wins this easily thanks to Millenniumon countering Zwart itself. I hope this video helps inform you that black is a color that can actually stand up to the meta, and top consistently. With that in mind, it's important to understand that Alex did not just come up with this and play it. Extensive deck testing was done, and with practice comes the ability to make key decisions in tipping the scales in your favor during a game. As always, this is DIGI-PANDA. Logging out.